red house by the lake, surrounded by nothing more than deep forests. This is where my wife and I chose to set down our roots, leaving behind the life we knew in Germany. Now we are embarking on the journey of turning this special place into a true home. In moving to Sweden, we wanted more than just to change our address. We wanted to shift our entire way of living. Closer to the rhythms of nature, closer to a slower pace of life, in a home that will hopefully be shared across generations. The kitchen is where this journey begins. In our house, the kitchen's a busy place. We're always cooking something, whether it's fish caught in a lake, mushrooms picked from the forest, or homemade bread. Our old kitchen was alright, it did its job. But it felt like it was stuck in another decade, with its dark, wooden finish and walls that made it feel more like a closed-off box than a part of our home. It was functional, but it lacked the connection to the rest of the house and to the outdoors, which is what we love most. So we had a clear goal: bring down those walls. We wanted to open up the space not just to let light in, but to make the kitchen the heart of our home. Imagine cooking up a fresh fish that you just caught by yourself, all while being part of the conversation in the living room. That was the dream. We needed a kitchen that could handle our cooking adventures, one where we could easily move around, have enough storage, and enjoy the lake view while we cook, really connecting with the surroundings. Our goal was simple: create a kitchen that's open and inviting as the rest of the house. It all started in the old kitchen, just us, measuring, sketching, and dreaming up the first ideas of how we wanted this space to look. We asked ourselves, what do we really need? How can we make the most of this room? It was all about being practical and creative at the same time. It was a game of what ifs and how abouts until we sketched a plan that felt right. With ideas in mind, we headed to IKEA. We were checking out everything: materials, colors, kitchen appliances, figuring out what worked for us both style-wise and budget-wise. And that was really important. It's one thing to look at stuff on the internet, but another to actually touch it, see it with your own eyes, and see if it works for you. Things got real when the IKEA expert came over to our place. She showed us the 3D program where we could plan out the whole kitchen, and suddenly our ideas came to life. That was exciting. When the plan was set, it was time for action. A local company came in to help us with the heavy work. The first thing they did? Take down those walls.
Sieht jetzt schon fantastisch aus.
Even with the old kitchen partly still there, the place already felt different. Bigger, brighter, just better. We'd naively expected that the whole project was a matter of days. But walls needed fixing, electricity and plumbing had to be redone, and the old kitchen had to go. We planned for days. It took a total of a bit over 2 weeks. That was a huge learning curve for us, to see how long things actually take. We didn't know that before because we didn't have any experience.
Doing some old school cooking on the stove. And this is what is left of the kitchen. And it's weekend now, so it's gonna be 3 days of this and this.
Living in a renovation zone was a crash course in chaos management. Yet every morning, seeing the space a bit more finished, the dream a bit closer, kept the energy up. And every night, we'd sit there in the middle of the mess, talking about the progress, the kitchen taking shape before our eyes. So today is the day where the kitchen is supposed to arrive. They said between 9 and 4. It's 12 o'clock right now. We rolled up our sleeves for the final stretch.
In the heart of the wilderness, under
Building
the sun,
cabinets, painting walls. Turns out there's a real buzz in doing it yourself. We poured our hearts and soul into every part of the kitchen.
a glimmer in the stream, in the land of dreams, we'd follow that gleam. Oh, the gold rush, a fever that burned. In the rush for riches, lessons were learned from every corner. They came from afar, seeking their fortune beneath the northern star, seeking their fortune beneath the northern star. The mountains stood tall, the rivers ran deep. In pursuit of riches, we'd sow what we'd reap. With shovels and pans, we'd dig in the earth in search of the treasure of infinite worth. Oh, the gold rush, the fever that burned. In the rush for riches, lessons were learned from every corner. They came from afar, seeking their fortune beneath the northern star, seeking their fortune beneath the northern star. The town sprang to life with a feverish haste, strangers to neighbors and the wide rugged waste. But dreams often fade like the colors of dawn, and the gold rush would change us before it was gone. Oh, the gold rush, the fever that burned. In the rush for riches, lessons were learned from every corner. They came from afar.
The kitchen is finally done. It took much longer than we anticipated, not because something was wrong or something was delayed. We just didn't know how long a kitchen renovation project would take, but now we know and we can finally show you the finished results. So our main goal was to open up the space. So where I'm standing now, actually there used to be a wall. So as you can imagine, the kitchen that was behind this wall was really dark and not light at all. So we wanted to open that up, and that's exactly what we did. And now we have a kitchen that's really, really light. All the natural light comes in. And the best thing is that now all the rooms are connected and the kitchen is kind of the centerpiece on the ground floor. We also have a lot more storage now. The kitchen itself is not super massive and big, but it kind of appears like it is because we used every single corner of the kitchen. There are cabinets on this side of the counter. There are cabinets on this side of the counter. We have a lot of cabinets up there. We have a huge storage cupboard here, where we can store all our dried foods and everything. We still want to organize this a bit more, but you get the idea. The sink also is a huge improvement to us because before we used to have 2 small sinks that were separated in the middle, and it was just never enough space in either one of them. And now we have a big one, which is much better for cleaning up stuff, and it comes with an extra. So you can really get into every corner of the sink. Or you can shower your cat. That's also an option. My personal favorite part is the color, because it really mirrors the outside. We are surrounded by trees, by forests, so the green, the light green we have here, really captures that. And I think it's a lot less sterile than if we would have done a white kitchen. In the old kitchen, we used to face the wall when we were cooking, because the stove and the oven was on the opposite side where the sink is now. So now when we're cooking and we're preparing food, we're actually looking at the outdoors and we can see the lake, and it's just amazing. As you can see, we have quite a large countertop, and we've left some space underneath, and that was intentional because we want to have bar chairs here. So that when one person is cooking over there, the other person can join and sit here and we can talk, or when it's just the 2 of us, we can have dinner here. So that's the plan, but we haven't found bar chairs yet that we like. The vision that we have for this room behind me is not what it is right now. We imagined this room to be our dining room in the future. And that's because the kitchen extends into it with this huge countertop. But for now, it's more of a living room, because maybe you've seen our first video where we mentioned how we ended up in this place, and we still live under the same roof with my parents. They have plans to extend the house and then move there on their own. But for now, it's a living room with our furniture, their furniture, all crammed into one place. So the dining room is gonna be a project for another day once this changes. So we have this little farm nearby who sells their own lamb meat and pork meat, I think. And we thought we'd go there today and get something for a nice meal to prepare in our new kitchen.
Hej hej!
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 We got a little bit of lamb, just like we wanted, and because he's a good salesman, he sold us like this Swedish Christmas ham. It's like a thing in Sweden that you eat this for Christmas or around Christmas, and yeah, he gave us some instructions on how to prepare it.
You can boil it or cook it in the oven, and then you put some. It's called grillering. It's mustard and breadcrumbs on top of it. It's very special, and then you slice it thin.
Wow.
It's a must on a Swedish julbord.
So that's gonna be a second nice meal.
harvested and dried these. We put them in water overnight so we can put them into our sauce now.
We're still a small channel, so the best way to support us is to leave a like on this video and subscribe to our channel. And we already planned that in the summertime we're gonna go out on the lake and we're gonna do some catch and cook adventures where we catch fish and then immediately prepare it over the fire. So if you don't want to miss that, subscribe and we see you in the next video.